A couple major Raptors updates dropped today with the final game of preseason happening tonight. The regular season just around the corner. We got some very encouraging news regarding some of the top guys on this Raptors roster, so we'll discuss that, including Masai Ujiri getting caught scouting some of the top prospects in this year's NCAA class, including Ron Harper, who's a brother of a former Toronto Raptor, as well as Ace Bailey, who's a dude that, again, Cooper Flagg is getting all the attention, all the hype in terms of the top draft pick, but Ace Bailey is someone that's very, very intriguing. So we'll break down those two prospects that Masai Ujiri was out there scouting last night. So lots of stuff to break down in this video. But again, folks, if you guys are a part of the 67% that haven't hit the subscribe button just yet, and want to stay up to date with everything that's happening on this Toronto Raptors team, again, season is just around the corner. We got a lot of content coming. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a single thing that's happening with this Toronto Raptors team. But let's dive in the first topic of discussion, because we got some major Raptors updates regarding this team that have me fairly excited, because again, this team has been plagued, has really just caught a bad luck in regards to the injury bug for the past, since last year's trade deadline, since we made all those moves. The team just hasn't been able to stay healthy, and it carried over in the end of last season, it carried over into preseason, and we're just hopeful, especially the top guys on this roster, really everyone, but especially the guys we're all excited, amped up to see, are just going to be able to come out there and, be effective out there on the basketball, get minutes, see what this core group can really do out there on the court. And we got some very positive updates regarding the top guys here right now. Essentially, Josh Lewenberg revealed that Immanuel Quickley went through a full practice today, and this was his first since the start of training camp. There were no restrictions as Darko Rajaković. He's questionable for tomorrow's preseason finale against Brooklyn, and if he does play, they plan to ease him back, according to Darko Rajaković. So again, IQ obviously got the big contract, got a lot of bread this off season in terms of getting that deal. A lot of investment made into IQ. So very excited to see him actually get back out there on the court. Again, I think one sort of freshener, shake the rust off game, out there in preseason will be very good for Immanuel Quickley. Again, dealing with a thumb injury. So very good news to see that he's progressing well, going to be back out there on the court. Again, hand injuries, we saw that take out Scottie Barnes for a stretch of last season. So that's very positive. And one of the guys that everyone's really has their eye on, because again, how well he played over the course of the Olympics, the news that came out regarding RJ Barrett, his development in the offseason. Essentially, we got an update on him as essentially RJ Barrett will not travel with the team to Brooklyn. He'll stay back and focus on his recovery from shoulder surgery. The team will reevaluate the injury when they return to Toronto. So Darko says they hope that he'll be ready for opening night next week, but there are no guarantees at this time. Now, when RJ Barrett went down with injury, there was kind of this 2 to 6 week window in terms of when we could expect RJ Barrett to really return to action, come back into the fold for this Toronto Raptors team. But RJ Barrett, the fact that he's questionable, they're kind of teasing that he could be back on opening night. Probably unlikely, because they want to not rush RJ Barrett back, in year one of a rebuild after how well he's progressed over the course of the offseason. I don't want RJ Barrett to rush back, but if he's fully good, fully healthy, and can play the opening night of preseason, again, that is very positive news for this Raptors team. And we even got a little update regarding Jakob Poeltl, as he's been dealing with the same shoulder injury as RJ Barrett, and he's about 10 days ahead of his recovery, and he was doing some light shooting and ball handling after practice, but is yet to be cleared for contact. And Darko has essentially said we'll have to be patient. Now, again, with these shoulder injuries, just reading on it, obviously not a doctor, apparently the timelines can vary widely. So just because Jakob Poeltl is 10 days ahead of his recovery, right, doesn't mean that RJ Barrett's going to be 10 days after Jakob Poeltl's out there hitting the court. So even though it's a similar injury, same injury, doesn't necessarily mean the timelines are going to exactly line up, but positive that there hasn't been any negative setbacks in regards to Jakob Poeltl, because again, shoulder injuries can be a little bit concerning, especially with guys that are on the wing, the jump shots. We've seen guys like, in the history, Landry Fields deal with nerve issues in his shoulder, and that messed up his jump shot. We saw guys like Markelle Fultz really mess up his game because of shoulder injuries. So again, hopeful that everything sort of ends up smoothly with these shoulder injuries, and they're able to recover fairly soon. So very good news there on that front. But Masai Ujiri, we got a second topic. Masai Ujiri is caught scouting some elite prospects yesterday, and again, I am very hopeful this Raptors team is able to shock everyone, is able to do a lot of tremendous things out there in this season, and do what we did against the Boston Celtics, and expedite this rebuild. Obviously, getting a top draft pick be very beneficial for the future of this franchise. And, capturing the flag, this is a very unpredictable season. We're going to have crazy overreactions week in, week out, game in, game out. That is what it is. But Masai Ujiri has to prep for the worst, has to prep for everything, and we are in that rebuild. That's kind of the reality of the roster that we have. And basically, Masai Ujiri was out there scouting some of the top guys, caught with Bobby Marks. Watching, I believe, Rutgers, two of the top prospects essentially go head-to-head, and they're going to be at the top projected of this year's draft. Obviously, Cooper Flag's number one, but a couple guys in this roster are projected top 10 picks, and one of them is Dylan Harper, who is a 6'6" point guard, shooting guard out there for Rutgers, and is coming in as an interesting kind of piece. And this is a scouting report, which I won't sort of read verbatim, but he's a combo guard that has a very long wingspan. He handles the ball well and can get his shot off, absorbing contact, finishing the lane, doing different stuff. He gets to the rim, gets to the free throw line a ton, and is a really good ball handler, which is a little bit of a difference from his brother, Ron Harper Jr. But basically, he's good in the pick and roll. He has a solid shooting ability, makes good decisions, reacts well to the defense, and can find an open teammate. He has a balance, good body control at the rim, and plays at a good pace in the half court, and keeps his turnovers low with his high volume and usage of the basketball. Average a ton of assists, not too many turnovers, impact the game well, was a winner out there throughout his sort of, prior to college career, but so that's his strengths, positives. One of those combo guards that, just very mature, very good decision maker, can shoot, can finish around the rim. His weaknesses isn't crazy in terms of a leaper. He scores a lot in the paint and is usually not finishing above the rim, so might struggle defending quicker players. And his three-point shooting over his senior season wasn't crazy consistent, but shot 33%, and that stuff can always improve. Can improve as a free throw shooter, but again, Ron Harper is not Ron Harper out here, but he has the Jalen Brunson, Malcolm Brogdon kind of comparisons out there, and Dylan Harper, mixing up his brother and stuff like that, has the connections already, the Raptors franchise, with his brother having already played, and an interesting kind of combo guard, which could be a cool fit. But the guy that is really intriguing, the guy Masai Ujiri was out there scouting, for me, is Ace Bailey, who is someone I've heard rumblings about potentially being able to eclipse Cooper Flagg as the top prospect in this year's kind of NBA draft. 6'9", 200-pound forward, very, very crazy athlete. We've seen some highlights in terms of him as being a 6'9" athletic forward. He's very, very good size and length for his position. High-level athleticism, best in the class. He runs the floors, quick off the ground, and has an impressive second jump. And he attacks the rim, will dunk in crowded paint situations. And basically, elite athlete, and he gets a shot off fairly easy against any defender. He shows a step back, turnaround jumper, spins, reverse pivots, flashes of footwork in the mid-range, and can fade away over either shoulder. The shooting range extends to the three-point line, good activity moves off the ball as well, and is capable of making impressive passes, reads, and sometimes in the post, other times off the dribble. And he can make different passes, which is a positive. He's a good rebounder, he has good tools with his length, and he blocks a ton of shots. He can block jump shots, he can block around the rim, he's pretty quick. Again, he's very, very bouncy, very fun highlights as well in terms of player. If you want to just watch some highlights out there in terms of what he's able to do, has NBA comparison of Brandon Miller, who I think is one of the more underrated guys in the NBA. He's still has like a completely sort of filled out frame, but no one really does out there at the college age. His three-point shot is a little bit inconsistent. He can improve as a ball handler. He can improve in all these different areas, but frankly, Ace Bailey is one of those dudes that I look at as a guy that really has the potential to be, someone that has that very, very high upside as one of those top draft picks out there in the NBA draft. Obviously, I'm not a big college basketball guy. I do my draft prep once the NBA draft has come around, once it has direct implication on the Raptors, on other NBA teams. But again, Ace Bailey is someone that I've watched the highlights on, and if we could get Ace Bailey, Cooper Flagg, any of these types of dudes, that would be very, very exciting. So nice to see Masai Ujiri out there scouting, getting his eye on some of these top prospects. But let me know what you guys think about all this Toronto Raptors news in the comment section down below. You guys are the best pick this far. Again, if you guys are a part of that 67%, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Anyways, I'm signing out. Cheers.